everybody put their hands together for this. This is something we've been waiting on for a minute. And it's not because the artist was taking a while or it was just logistics. But it's here now. Brooklyn's in the building. Welcome to Harlem. Let me go ahead and say a very warm welcome to Young Devyn in the building.
Thank you.
Give me some more applause, Drew. Yes. Let me start by saying this, all right? First of all, shout out to my big brother, Sway Calloway, Sway in the Morning. You can catch him right here on Shade 45 every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. But I think I might have been walking through the halls a couple of times, and I saw there was like this fever, and it was you and another artist. And I just saw there was no letting up, no taking the foot off the gas. Keep in mind, I'm on the other side of the glass, so I can't hear what the hell is going on.
Right.
But it was just like intense in a way of like, yo, people were just in there going crazy.
Yeah.
Then I see the video. Then I go to YouTube and I'm there. What is that? Five Fingers of Death? No. Doomsday. I go to Doomsday and I'm in the crowd that day. And I'm like, this young lady is different.
Wow,
Different.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember all this, right? But here's the illest shit of all. Young Devyn had to go to school each day. Did you?
No,
I don't know if people knew this shit. She had to go to school.
No, yeah.
You was like 16.
Yeah, I was literally 16 and I had to go to school right after. Same thing with Doomsday. I literally went and then I went to school right after. Like nothing happened.
What was that? Like second period by the time you got there? 3 period?
Like fourth.
Fourth period.
Yeah.
What do you say to your teachers at that point? Like,
my teachers knew I did music. Like they were all fans, so they didn't really care.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for the teachers, because somebody know your teacher. They cared, but it was one of those things like, career. Yep. She graduated, yeah. So it all worked out.
Right.
Devyn, when did you start getting, let's back up a little bit, because I feel like you've told the story, but you're up here on the WeOutchea Show with me, Gray Rizzy, right now. So there's some people that are listening, and I just want to back up a little bit. Like, when did you get into music? Because when I started watching you was like 16. Now you're what, 19? Okay, so how did you get into music?
I started doing music. My family's from Trinidad, and so like if you're familiar with like the Caribbean culture, Trinidad is.
Let me bang on something real quick. Okay, go. Yeah.
But if you're familiar, like what soca music is, that's a genre of music that was based in the Caribbean. It started in Trinidad. It came from calypso, and then so. One day my teachers had a talent show and it was called Heritage Day, so all the kids had to do a song from their heritage. So of course I did a soca song because it represents me being from Trinidad, but the performance ended up going a little bit too good. Like people started calling my school like because they thought I was a special guest performer, so like they were trying to call my principal to like book me for their kids' birthday parties and all types of events, and my principal is like, she's a performer,
right?
Like she's 7. I think I was like 7 at the time. And then like a month later, me and my mom were driving. She stopped by because she seen a friend, but he knows somebody else who is like a big radio host in the soca world. So he was like, hey, I heard you was singing a little soca song the other day. I was like, yeah, I was. And he was like, you want to sing it on the radio? So I'm like, yeah, but I'm thinking he's talking about like for future references. Like he's like, okay, no, come. So he pulls me through the window. I go downstairs and he tells my mom to just sit in the car and turn on the radio. And then 5 minutes later, her daughter's on the radio. And I was getting booked for shows instantly. Like it was like a viral thing, like really overnight. But then it just grew, months in.
I'm listening to this. I'm like, damn, you fell into it, and this is all because you performed. But
at a talent show, yeah, I never made a conscious decision. Like I'm gonna be a singer or I'm gonna be a rapper. Like it just happened.
Well, one thing's consistent. It always involved school. Things was always going down. It always involved school in some way, shape, or form. So that's good. Well, what I want to do is, that we went back to that right now. Let's fast forward because now I represent 2 channels up here on SiriusXM. Of course, Eminem Shade 45, which we're on right now, as well as Hip Hop Nation. And we're both supporting Straight to It.
That's great.
That's
amazing.
What I'm saying?
That feels good to hear.
And it's a lot of growth on your part.
Yeah.
How has that been for you? Like just it feels like it's been a whirlwind, but at some point I'm feeling like you're used to this.
Yeah, it's been both because of course it's new experiences every day. Like it's something new that's happening with my song, and just people discovering me. Like is always a dope feeling. But being that I did soca for years at a time and I traveled and I toured, it kind of gave me a little bit of seasoning. So when it's time to do all these things now, I'm kind of used to doing like press runs or different things of the sort. Like people still think to this day I'm media trained. Like I've never had media training before. Nobody's ever taught me how to spoke. It's just I've been doing it since I was young, so it's like second nature. But I'm glad with how everything is going, because even the last time I was there, I think I was at
Shade 45.
I think I was there to do an interview, and I did a freestyle. I think that was with the cast members of what was the rapping show? It had D Smoke and London.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah, that show.
Yes,
and I did I wasn't even supposed to be in that freestyle. Like, they were doing a cypher, and Sway was like rhythm and flow. Then Sway was just like, just go rap, like jump in it. And he put me on the spot, and I rapped, and it went viral again. And I told him, I was like, the next time I'm gonna be in this building, it's because I have a hot record. You know, like, even when I spoke to the director, I was like, the next time we talk, it's gonna be about a song. And literally, the next time we spoke, 3 years later, it's about straight to it. So I'm just happy how everything is playing out.
Well, look, I know everybody in their car like, can you play the fucking song? Because I want to hear it right now. All right, so we're going to play the song. Young Devon's up here with us. It's Gray Rizzy up here on Shade 45. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to talk about some of that calypso and soca. We're going to get to that, because these people need to understand how important and how influential that was, and how it prepared you for right now.
Exactly.
Shade 45, best believe. We out here. Whoa. Young Devon's up here, peoples. Gray Rizzy, we out here right now on Shade 45. Let's talk some inspiration, some influences, some goals real quick. You got to see a lot when you were younger.
Yeah.
I feel like I do want to talk about this real quick, but I don't want to skip around too much. On the hip-hop side, something that I know about you, because I can hear it in your music, is that 90s flow, that gutter New York, like that stuff that's built on lyricism, is in your DNA.
Yeah.
But you also speak, because I hear it in Straight to It, you're also speaking to now, all right? How do you take the inspiration from then and communicate that for today, for the listeners today, especially in your age group?
Well, I was exposed to a lot of music early on. Like, when I was young, I used to listen to a lot of soca, and then I come from a very, like, you know, religious background, so it was a lot of gospel and soca. And then, you know, me growing up, falling into my own things, that's when I started becoming a fan of hip-hop. And, you know, then, you know, when I first fell in love with hip-hop, I was a casual fan, and then it's when I listened to Nicki, and I went back and I heard her album, and I found out what a punchline and a metaphor was. It was like a drug. I was like addicted. I'm like, wait, everybody does this? Like, people could say, you know, and talk like this. I'm thinking this is something new. And so I went back, and that's kind of how I fell in love with, like, Meek and Jay-Z and DMX and Lauryn Hill. And I loved how Lauryn Hill was able to, like, blend melodies with rapping, because, you know, coming from a Caribbean background, I wanted to find ways to do that too. So to hear how she did it, it kind of gave me that comfort. Like, okay, you know, and she did it good. So I'm like, okay, that's good. But yeah, it was just like a melting pot, because I was exposed to so much music early on, and then I was exposed to, you know, both sides early on, in the sense of me, I was the only kid in soca music. That was one of the reasons why I blew up so fast, because soca has never had a child. Like, it's not a genre of music where it's like a wide span of ages. It's usually adults talking about carnival, partying, just things that you wouldn't really hear a kid singing. So the fact that, like, a kid came into the game and I was doing it in a tasteful way, a way that maintained my age, and I wasn't trying to be too grown, that's kind of how I blew up fast. And then just being at those shows, though, I'm still the only kid. So I'm performing 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm headlining shows, but I'm amongst adults all night. You know what I'm saying? So being exposed to adults on the weekends, and then going to school on Monday, I was always exposed to that balance of both. So it's like, I know how to command adults on a stage, and I know what attracts kids, because I'm a kid, and I try to make sure I'm observant. So when it's time to make music, I know how to just blend the two.
You might be able to go ahead and teach a class, man. Like, this shit, I hear my brother over here. Shout out to my brother Hemi in the building. He over here like, it's just blowing my freaking mind, because I've been to Carnival. Again, I don't want to skip too many steps, because I want to get into the third break. I do want to talk about this. I'm seeing a lot of pictures. I'm seeing a lot of things, especially on the gram. Yeah. You've gone viral multiple times, but there seems to be like some support from my brother that just came home. Shout out to Rowdy Rebel, GS9, shout out to Bobby and stuff like that. Is it something that we might be seeing you guys work in the future?
Of course, that's the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, but beyond music. Yeah. So of course that'll definitely happen.
Oh, I know where you're from. Land of Triple Parking. I know where you're from. Yeah. Definitely.
But you know, besides that, like, as a person, I met Rowdy. He's super dope. Like, treated me like a big brother instantly. One time, like, the first day I met him, he brought me in the house. He went up to all his friends. He's like, yo, I'm telling y'all now, this my little sis. Like, welcome her. Like, you know, he been super dope from the beginning. Real humble. I just spoke to him the other day. So we always talk. He always making sure that he check up on me, or if he hear my song on the radio, he might post it and shout it out if he catches it. So, you know, it's nothing but love. I haven't really met Bobby yet. I seen him, like, casually, but I haven't really sat down and personally met him. But, you know, he's heard about me. His friends are saying, like, yo, Bobby seen you. He think you fire. Like, he wants you to come to the studio. So when the timing is right, we'll all link up.
You know what's really powerful right now is women in hip hop.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, I think women are outworking dudes left and right. I don't hold back any punches. Like, they are busting y'all ass out here. And I'm talking about women busting dudes' ass, right? So my question, I guess, is like, who put into some good energy out there? Who would you like to work with? I know that, you know, you're a big fan of Nikki already, and she's already acknowledged your work. Right. But who's somebody, like, right now, you're starting to get that acclaim. People are paying attention, not only in the sense...
even female rappers been hitting me up. Like, Hood Celebrity hit me up the other day.
Shout out to Hood. I love Hood.
Yeah, she sounds really cool and humble. And, you know, we both from the Caribbean.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, you know, automatically Caribbean people, we all feel like we cousins.
Right.
So, yeah, Hood Celebrity, she hit me up. Asian Doll hit me up. Lakia, she's another one.
She's dope.
She's with QC.
Yeah.
She hit me up. I seen her. She was following me when she first got signed, and I went on her page. And, you know, I seen that she was showing love. And so,
she got a fire song with Gucci right now.
Yeah, she's fire. Mulatto, of course. I like all the young girls that are coming up right now. Like, I think that's super dope. And then, of course, you know, like the Megs, the Cardis, the City Girls. Like, I just feel like, you know, I say it all the time. It might not be 100 female rappers like there are male rappers, but the ones that are in the game are really making the strides and making the waves. So I'm happy for everybody.
Can we... Has anybody hit you up or, like, you know, let's get in the studio?
Yeah. Okay. Asian Doll, she, you know, I'm not even gonna speak on it, but we're gonna work.
Okay.
We definitely gonna work.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Give me a song that inspired you on the hip hop side. We could play that right now. You said a couple of names earlier. I want to play a joint because you said so.
I could say That Thing by Lauryn Hill. That right there.
That thing. We're going to go take it to the miseducation of Miss Lauryn Hill, man. We're going to be right back. Young Devins in the building. It's Gray Rizzy. We out here. Shade 45. Chill. Young Devon's up here. I'm hanging out with Young Devyn. I'll be honest with you.
Right.
Gray Rizzy. We out here on Shade 45. We definitely chilling right now. It's a Brooklyn, Bronx, and Harlem thing right now. Okay, so I said I didn't want to skip around too much. We were talking about Carnival. If people are listening right now and they thinking Carnival like cotton candy and dunking contests and whack-a-mole, not that type of Carnival. Can you explain what Carnival is?
It is hard liquor. No, let's stop. No, it is.
It's no sleep, but yes.
Yeah, no,
explain it to
sleep.
them.
It's just nothing but partying, like partying day after day after day, right? So let's say, you know, let's look at a Friday morning for a Young Devon in Trinidad during Carnival season. You know, land, get there, taking pictures. I don't know why people in Trinidad treat me like I'm so foreign. Like I'm one of y'all. I was running down the street with no socks on, just like y'all. But I guess so. Boom, get to the airport. Everybody taking pictures. You know, stop by the family for a little bit. First show, Army Fete. Right? Everybody being in army fatigue out.
Right.
It's like 10,000 people that goes to that show. The whole army is out, so it ends up being the safest show during Carnival, which is the funniest thing ever, right? Because let's say it's like opposing gangs. That one night for that show, there will be no beef because
everybody
literally the entire army is out. So everybody gets home safe. Like it's never any problem. Like it's always a joke every single year, right? So it's Army Fete, and then you might roll into Soca Monarch, which is the show where all of the big soca artists now compete against each other with their record for the year. Right. And then, you know, whoever wins the title wins Soca Monarch for that year. So that's another competitive thing. Then you have so many parties in between that. Water parties, paint parties, regular parties, dressing up parties. You got all-inclusive fetes where you get food and drinks included, all types of stuff. And then you get to Carnival where you put your costume on. You have Carnival Monday where you could customize your own costume. And that's the thing. I feel like Trinidad Carnival is so flexible because it gives you both sides. So it's like some people might not be able to afford, you know, a costume.
I've heard they could get very expensive.
Could get very expensive. So they allow you a day where you can make your own and come out on the road and have fun, jump behind a truck and just have a good time. And then Carnival Tuesday, that's when all the masqueraders and all of their jewels and feathers come. And I just feel like it's a beautiful thing that everybody should experience. Like it's super diverse. Like just because it's in Trinidad, you're going to see so many different types of people in Trinidad for those 3 weeks. Like it's amazing. And I just love what soca music brings to the world.
I love the way how you explain it. And it was so distinct, but let me tell you something. This takes over islands for days at a time, where you have people who come home just to change and they go right back out.
Literally.
Right? So in all this, you're a child, you're performing, and whether people know it or not, like this is really training you for right now. So just going back to when we first started, I remember when I was at the YouTube studios for Sway's Doomsday, and you could tell like you turn it right on. You know what I'm saying? She gets up there all shy, like, oh, shy, ha, ha, ha. When that beat come on, Primo, I was looking at Primo. Primo was like, DJ Premier, shout out to Big Bro. He looking at her like, what the fuck? John Lil was like, yo, what the hell is going on? It's like you turn it right on, but I would assume being able to perform next to somebody like Marshall.
Right.
Can you explain him real quick? I just need you to. This is a god in this form of music.
Marshall, it's so crazy because the way how I met Marshall was the funniest thing. So I didn't even know his stature at the time, right? Because I was doing music so young. So it's like, okay, I know everybody's singing soca music, but I don't know like it's levels to these people and I don't know. So, you know, I was at a show opening up for him. And, you know, he came through backstage and everybody was rushing towards him. And I'm like, who is this guy? Like, I didn't even know what he looked like. And then they're like, oh, that's Marshall. So he walked past me. He nodded his head at me and I just nodded my head back. And that was that because I didn't care. So he walks in his dressing room. So then my mom is like, I dare you to go ask him to perform. And then so her friends started egging me on. Like, you know, yeah, I dare you. You wouldn't do that. Like, you a punk. You're not going to do that. I'm like, I'm not gonna go ask this man to perform.
Deep down, your mom and the friend is like, please, let him say yes.
They was really just joking with me because, you know, they young daughter, they don't want me to get denied. So when they seen that I was serious, they were like, oh, wait, wait a minute. I'm like, oh, no, I'm gonna go. So I go in the dressing room. I push past security. I go in the dressing room and I tap him and I'm like, Mr. Marshall, like, can I perform with you? And mind you, he's never seen me. He's never heard of me. The only interaction we ever had was that head nod. Like, he don't know anything about me. And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. And so I walked out the dressing room and he was like, wait, like you don't want to know why? I'm like, oh, I mean, I was going to see you on the stage, but I mean, you know why? He was like, no, it's because of your confidence and how you came into this room, like your aura, like you're so young, but I could tell something about you is, you know, I can't even remember what he said verbatim, but it was to that effect. And then I was like, okay. And you know, me being young at the time, of course, I'm not really going to understand what he's saying. And then, you know, he starts performing. He has like 3-hour sets, right? Like that man is literally a beast when it comes to performing and his energy will be high the whole time. So we're like an hour and a half in and I'm thinking, well, my mom was thinking like, okay, maybe he forgot, like, you know, let's go home. At the time it was like 3:30, you know, in the morning. And so, you know, she's telling her 8-year-old daughter like, okay, Devin, like he's performing, like, let's go. I'm like, no, like give it a second. So at some point he turns and he makes eye contact with me and he's like, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. And he brings me on stage. I perform with him. It goes viral. Like, it was on the newspaper the next day for Labor Day. Like, it was like the most viral thing for that weekend in New York. And then it was to the point where people started thinking that I was his daughter because of how it happened, right? And then people started calling me the Princess of Soca. So that's when I got that title. And then ever since that day, we literally just kept in contact and we stayed close to the point where our relationship was deeper than music. Like, you know, I could call him today and just ask for advice on just life. And he'll sit down for an hour or 2 hours and talk to me. So, you know, just being around that energy, seeing his work ethic, like seeing him argue with his team, but it's because he wants his stuff right and he's a perfectionist. It's pushed me in ways as well, so I will always forever be grateful for that.
Again, on the job training, this shit is crazy, man. Just to hear that, because I had the chance to meet him while I was in Cancun, and literally, we're not, you know, in Trinidad, we're not in any of the Caribbean islands, we're in Mexico, but still, people were tripping over themselves to get to him. But here's the thing, you know, I know that we are working on, and I say we, I just want to be down, that you're working on a project that should be dropping hopefully this summer around June and stuff like that. Is there a chance that we might see you two work together on that?
Yeah, of course me and Masha gonna work.
Okay, all right.
Like, that's the whole point.
Sure.
When I wanted to cross over into doing a more mainstream genre, I always said I wanted to do that because I want to be the artist to bridge soca in the mainstream world. I just never thought rapping was going to be it because I never thought I was going to be a rapper. Like, that happened on accident. So, you know, just me connecting with my roots and connecting with these soca artists, of course, like that's a part of the whole plan. So definitely.
Yeah, look out for that, please, man. And you know what? I just see everybody in Brooklyn smiling right now, man. They can't wait. And uptown in the Bronx, I'm not gonna lie, uptown in the Bronx, you know, Queens, everybody's happy, but across the entire country. And I just want to say to you, I have just met you for the first time, but from afar, now that I'm here in front of you to say, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Because you've handled yourself like a professional through it all.
Thank you.
And I'm telling you, man, people, Maria, I'm telling you, people, there should be like a class that she should teach on the weekends. Sign up, 101, get your shit right, 101.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Etiquette.
Yeah, get your shit right. That's what we gonna call it right there. Look, for everybody that needs to stay in touch, I'm telling you, you need to stay in touch with her. How can they do that? Instagram, Twitter, website, all that.
Yeah, you guys can follow follow me on all social media platforms at Young Devyn, YOUNGDEVYN.
Definitely tap in with her, man. And you know what? I know this is a hip hop channel. I know we have the hardest of hip hop up here, but you go feel these vibes, man. It's no secret. This is the name of the song, but these vibes, they real, baby.
Right.
They real. Look, if you miss any part of this interview, don't worry about it. Download this app right here. Put it on your phone. Listen on the iPhone and the Android and search. Download the SiriusXM app, that is. Search Young Devyn, Gray Rizzy, Shade 45. Listen to it on your time on demand. And while you're following Young Devyn, why don't you slide over here and follow Gray Rizzy, follow Shade 45. Let us get some of that love too, all right? Best believe we out here, whoa. Devyn, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.